Jonathan, before we actually speak about the SweatBOX, do you want to give the people watching a quick introduction to who you are and what you do at Monument Tools?
Perfect, thank you. I'm Jonathan Collier, I'm Managing Director at Monument Tools. We are a 5th generation family-owned business and we design, manufacture and market specifically plumbing, roofing and drainage hand tools.
Perfect. And this specific tool we're talking about today is the SweatBOX. And for those of you watching, you're probably going to hear me mention the words Monument Masters a fair few times. If you're interested in learning about what the Monument Masters is, there's a link in this description. If you're watching on YouTube, go and watch that video to learn exactly how this product came about. Jonathan, what is the SweatBOX? Talk me through it.
So, as part of what we do to bring products to market, we occasionally talk to inventors. So some of them approach us through our website, some of them get recommended. This particular product was invented by 2 guys down in the southwest of the UK. They came to us with a product and the beautiful thing about this product it was at its infancy. So they'd only got a patent, they'd only got a 3D model, which is a perfect way that we start with a product. What it's designed around, it's a patent around a clamping device so that you can sweat or solder a joint.
And out of curiosity, these 2 guys, how did they come up with this idea? Like, what's their background?
Well, I think they're both plumbing and heating engineers. So yeah, it was kind of driven out of necessity that they designed something.
Show me the product. So you mentioned this clamp. What does this do? I can see bits of, and for those of you that are watching, you know me, I spend most of my time on a computer. My job is to ask the questions that you guys are thinking. What is special about having a clamp here? What does this thing do?
So the idea is that when you go, the idea behind the product is when you're in a customer's kitchen, in their house, and you need to sweat a joint or solder a joint, rather than it being in situ, maybe near a boiler or near a radiator, you want to do it somewhere within the house without having to walk outside and do it outside, because obviously you're soldering and there's heat and there's flame and it's all kinds of potential things that could go wrong. So what we found out is that the heating engineers would maybe cobble together something made out of a bit of timber. They'd maybe, I saw a plumber at Monument Tools, he was standing on the bit of copper and then soldering it on the step outside, and it just looked, it was bizarre. So what these guys came up with, the idea is that you put all your tools, so whether it's your gas, your torch, your flux, your copper keys, your pipe cutters, your OMAT, it's all there ready to go as a soldering station. Is it just as a soldering station?
I see these are different shapes. Is this specifically made for?
That's specifically made for
What's this for? Sorry, lack of knowledge.
That is a flux brush.
Flux brush, thank you.
Before you solder your joint, you would want to put a bit of flux.
Everyone now is thinking this guy who's interviewing has no idea what this product is about. But that's what I'm here to do, guys. I'm here to ask the questions that might be top of mind for you. Hey, a spark might have stumbled across this video, and at least you now know what sweating and soldering joints is. Perfect. I'm learning the same pace that you are. So we've got a dedicated box for the stuff you need to solder.
Yep. And then you've got, the idea is that you want to be able to solder actually on site.
Okay.
So the plastic itself is flame retardant plastic because it's going to be subjected to some kind of heat at some point. It's not flame proof by any stretch of the imagination, but it will be flame retardant so it won't just melt.
Yep.
So if you take a really cheap toolbox or tool tray, that is made out of a non-flame retardant plastic. So this is not just an ordinary tool tray.
Okay.
So high quality plastic, engineered and then designed specifically for this job. And then there's a clamp. And the idea behind the clamp is that it will hold a piece of 22mm copper, or it will hold a piece of 15mm copper. Either side, there's a silicone strip on the front here to help stop the heat that's conducted from when you solder.
Okay.
So the heat won't be transferred from this part to the plastic itself here. And then there's also silicone strips under here because obviously the heat, when you're soldering or sweating a joint, the heat is conducted back down the copper pipe. So what you can then do is you can fit your joint, you can put your joint together here, you can fit it here, and then you can solder here. Obviously when you solder, you need to use some kind of mat to protect the surrounding areas, and always use a mat to protect the surrounding areas. Whether it's an OMAT or one of our standard mats, that's what it's for.
So Jonathan, I love the idea. I love the fact it came from 2 engineers solving a real problem for themselves, but I can notice that you've got the Monument Masters logo printed on the top. So just share with me the process of when engineers come to you, you believe in the idea, what's the process there from going you believing in it to actually putting it in production? Because I know there's a lot of cost behind making products.
Yep, absolutely.
How do you get confident that this is something that other engineers might want?
So the process itself is a really long, drawn-out process. So we've known about this product for a couple of years. Dan and Ryan, as you say, approached us initially. It's a patent. They had a patent on the product. We then got some additional 3D samples printed, and we then took it to the Monument Masters. So we've got guys in London, Birmingham, and Leeds. We've also got guys who have seen it in the USA. They all give us feedback to give us an idea of exactly whether it's the right product. And they've all seen it. They've then told us it's the right product. They then give us reviews on Tool Talk, so you can see those positive reviews that have come in, which then ensures that we've got the right product for the market.
Love that. And guys, if you want to go and see those reviews for yourself, simply head over to tooltalk.com, look for Monument, and you'll see all the reviews from engineers just like you and what they have to say about this new product. There you have it. That's the Monument Sweatbox. Check the links out in the description to learn more or buy your Sweatbox today.